going on, guys? I wanted to make a little informational video today on how I lost 36 pounds in 90 days. I knew going into this fitness journey of mine, the general basics of how weight loss obviously works, but I wanted to learn everything that I possibly could on the subject to better my chances and to help me progress along my journey. There is so much information on the internet at our fingertips, books to read, other influencers to watch. I dove into it all head first. And through all that, sorting through all of it, I've started putting together a piece of a routine that I think is working for me thus far. Obviously, my results are speaking for themselves so far. If you know anything about the concept of losing weight, you understand that it all comes down to the numbers. Macros and calorie count is the numbers I'm talking about there. And if you don't know, then pay attention, because that's where it gets good. I started hitting the gym when I started this fitness journey at the same time I started watching my nutritional intake. However, I 100% believe that 80% of my fat loss and the ability to lose it as fast as I did was because of how I changed my nutrition. Now, changing my nutrition, I didn't completely deprive myself of the foods that I liked, because ultimately there's no need. If you pay attention to what you're eating all the time, you can work in going to get your cheeseburger or your piece of pizza or whatever it may be that you're craving, as long as you're still following with your numbers. At least this has been my experience thus far. Simple dishes that I used to make around the house, I can still eat. I just substituted some ingredients for a little bit of healthier options to help my numbers on the bottom line. For example, I make a chicken bacon ranch quesadilla that I love to eat. It's real simple: chicken, bacon, ranch, cheese, and quesadilla, and tortillas, right? I substituted out real bacon for turkey bacon. I got a lower fat cheese, and I went with a carb balanced tortilla instead. And overall, it dropped me down from 818 calories to 608 calories. My carbs, it dropped me from 52 carbs to 10 carbs per quesadilla. This is great if you're trying to watch your calorie numbers and your carb numbers, for instance. Your proteins and your fats in this particular change are minute. It's more so for those who aren't trying to load up on carbs, or you need a lower calorie dinner. But you can do what you like to eat, just maybe alter a few ingredients to make it a little bit healthier for you. So there's a formula to calculate your targeted calories and your targeted macros, being protein, fat, and carbs. I'm not going to get into that in this particular video. There may be a point in the future where I make a video including that, but as of right now, not so much. There are countless calorie tracking apps out there in the world. Pick one. The one I went with personally, I went with Macro Factor. It's worked well for me. Before, I was using MyFitnessPal. I used it throughout the years, different phases of me trying to get fit in my life. None of those phases ever took, but this go around, I decided to switch it up and go with Macro Factor, and it's phenomenal. It's got a good library, and it's been helping me a lot, and it helped me get my goal numbers set for me, so I didn't have to do the math on paper. But my goal calorie intake was about 1,750 calories a day through this process. My expenditure is roughly at 2,600 calories a day, starting at 196 pounds 90 days ago, roughly 90 days ago. But so my target is 1,700, we'll say. And for the last 2 months, I pushed really hard on my nutritional and watching those numbers, and that's when I really started watching the fat fall off. I stayed at 1,700 or below, so I was between 1,500 and 1,700 calories every day, with the exception of maybe 5 days, roughly, that I would go over that 1,700, but I would still be in a deficit from the 2,600 that I was burning all the time. So I was still in a calorie deficit even though I went over my target number. So calories are obviously something that I watched strongly, And proteins, I focused on protein. Never under, always over, if anything. Either break even or go over on your protein goals. We don't get enough protein, and I think that protein has helped me retain the muscle while losing the amount of fat, and actually build a little bit of muscle in my chest, because I had not a lot of muscle definition in my chest than I do now. Was my protein intake and the weightlifting that I did to counteract the amount of fat loss I was losing dramatically. Yeah, overall, when it comes to weight loss, macros and calories are the primary focus, and they are key in doing so. Again, 80%, I believe, 80% of my progress there came from that. However, if you're still watching this, that's good news, because there's a simple workout, and it's the most simple workout that I used to lose weight when I was in the gym. And we're not talking about weight training. Weight training burns calories, of course, and it builds muscle, yes. But we're talking about just a simple fat burning exercise that I did to accompany the nutritional changes that I implemented into my life. I, of course, started going to the gym, and I started workout routines, reading weightlifters' books or bodybuilders' books. I read a book on Sam Sulek that inspired me in a lot of ways. I watched a lot of stuff on Chris Bumstead that inspired me in a lot of ways. Both of those two guys, completely different builds, but they both brought something to me and individually that helped me see something clearly on my fitness journey. So I kind of latched onto them, and I followed them, and I learned a lot from them, and I'm continuously learning. And that's the whole point of this as a human experiment and a fitness journey, is to continuously learn. So hopefully this video helps somebody learn something that they didn't know. But to go with lifting weights and small routines of, chest and triceps, or back and biceps, or however you want to split your workout. I did a little bit of it all, kind of honed in on a split kind of like that for the majority of the past couple of weeks. I've been doing that workout. But if you don't carry around a pen and a paper, there's fitness tracking apps. I use Fitbod. It'll generate a workout for you, or you can create your own, but it's a great way to track your past workouts, your progress, and your personal records. Look into it. If you don't know what you're doing in the gym, or you need some direction of some sort, there is a free version of it, but there is a subscription version, full on, I believe. But it's a good app. It's the one I've been using. But the app or the workout that helped me shed the weight is cardio. I did cardio at least 5 days a week. A simple workout of a fat burning program on a treadmill that elevated the elevation varied depending on what difficulty you put it on, but anywhere from freaking 5 to up to 13.5 on your elevation, changing throughout the course of your session. I do this at 3 to 3.5 miles an hour. That's typically a mile and 18 minutes walking uphill, up and down hills. I do this for 30 minutes a day. That's it. I've never had a cardio session in the last 90 days go over 30 minutes. Sometimes it's even only 20 minutes if I'm on a time crunch because I got to the gym late. But 30 minutes of cardio, inclined walking on a treadmill. That is my biggest, hey, do this and you will see results. Consistently walk on a treadmill, 30 minutes a day. That's all it takes, 5 days a week, to start seeing your waistline get smaller, as it did with me. If you've watched any of my content, you've seen the befores, you've seen afters, you've seen current, you've seen the ongoing progress that I will continue to post along my journey. But I hope this information helps somebody, and I hope that it inspires somebody. I had a comment on one of my YouTube videos the other day that a dude was lacking, and he hadn't been feeling it lately, but my video had given him some inspiration to hopefully get back in the gym and start pushing again. And that's what it's all about. That's what these videos are for. We want to inspire each other to be the best versions of ourselves that we can be. I hope y'all follow me. I hope y'all hit me a subscribe and continue to see where I push myself. I'm going to push myself as far as I can. I want to be the best version of me that I can be. I know this one's kind of ranting on at this point, so I'm going to wrap it up. But day one is better than one day, y'all. And I'm excited to share my journey with y'all.